Gary, welcome to Floor Talk. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
Well, thank you, and it's good to be back at the New York Stock Exchange.
Great to be back at the New York Stock Exchange. Today we're here, we're honoring our Medal of Honor recipients, ringing the closing bell today here at the New York Stock Exchange, and you are a Medal of Honor recipient. So take us back to the time of April 4th to April 7th, 1970.
I was a military advisor with a Vietnamese Ranger Battalion. And we were sent into battle because the Special Forces base camp had been overrun. We were to set up a perimeter and evacuate their dead and wounded. We got one hilltop short, and we were surrounded by the 66th NVA Regiment, the 29th NVA Regiment, and the K6 Sapper Battalion. And I had a Ranger Battalion consisting of 473 Vietnamese Rangers and 4 American advisors. And in the first mortar attack, one American advisor was killed and the other 2 were seriously wounded. And so I took charge of the battalion, and we went into a 4-day, 4-night nonstop battle. And at the end of that 4 days, I brought 41 walking wounded off the hill alive.
Gary, you demonstrated extraordinary bravery under fire. What drove you to keep going despite the overwhelming danger?
I don't view myself as being a hero or done something extraordinary. I was a non-commissioned officer put in charge of a battalion, which is very rare, and I had a job to do. And that job was to bring as many people off of that hill alive as I possibly could. So my motivating factor was, let's don't get any more people killed than we have to.
Now, Gary, I mentioned that you are a Medal of Honor recipient. What was it like receiving that medal, and what does it mean to you?
I was a young, I believe 27-year-old at that time, born and raised in Kentucky and hadn't been out of the state before I joined the military. And all of a sudden, I'm in the White House with President Nixon. It was an interesting day. I was humbled, but the most important thing about being a Medal of Honor recipient is that I'm chose to wear this medal for those that earned it, and that's the ones that got killed and did not make it home. So I wear the medal proudly for them.
Gary, how has this recognition shaped your life?
I have my own foundation. It's Tribute to Valor Foundation, where I go into schools and talk about the 6 core values of the Medal of Honor: courage, commitment, sacrifice, integrity, citizenship, and patriotism. And then we take groups of inner city kids down to Kennedy Space Center for a 3-day weekend. So without being a Medal of Honor recipient, that door would not have been open.
And finally, Gary, tell me, what lessons from your military service do you carry with you in your life today?
What I learned in the military was integrity. Integrity is the most important word in the English language. Never lose your integrity, and never let anyone take your integrity from you.
All right, well, Gary, it's an honor to have you here with me today on Floor Talk, and thank you so much for your service.
But thank you, and you're worth every minute of my service.